good. Got here at 1:50. Didn't check in till 1:58. My appointment was 1:55. Said it'll be a work-in. Trailer's still empty. 511.
The truck they're working on now, they're gonna start on the work-ins.
I'm just gonna go home. We'll just cancel that one out because I gotta be there at 7 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just cancel that one out.
If they start on you about 12:30, it's still gonna be almost 3 o'clock before they get done with you.
Yeah. We'll just cancel it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hello, I'm Jen. Big dog. Hello.
Good morning. Hi, baby. I'll be back tonight, late night, okay? Straight through. Bye-bye. Love you. All right, let's go get this going. Last minute little load, and the truck's not on this side. The truck's over here because I had ghost cruised it in because it's so dang loud that I don't like to wake up everybody. So keep it in second gear and let's go. JustTruckin.Shop. Every $5 is a free entry to win this thing with an LS1. Boop. Back through Clinton we go. The next exit up is the QT exit. Nice to be done. And this is the way to go around downtown Clinton. They don't want you going through trucks. It's unfortunate that I had my trailer for almost 11 hours and they did not even touch it or get it loaded. But whatever, we got this one. JB Hunt, it was listed at 651 or something, 652. And I offered 11. This is straight through. And they called me and said, hey, the best we can do is 877, and that's $200 more than we're getting paid on the load. I said, oh, well, let me look at it, look at some other stuff I'm working on, and I'll let you know. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then getting close to 2.5 hours before the pickup, all of a sudden it starts jumping. Went to $900, and then it went to $1,050. I said, I can do that. Let's do $1,050 straight through to South Charlotte and get back home. Should be able to do it all in 1 clock. Let's do it. A little bit narrow right here. Moving the house and losing tire. No, just making sure it's secured. Getting it somewhere else. 71 degrees. I have the windows up about halfway. It is so nice outside. Gorgeous coming down through here. So I'm kind of coming west of Columbia. If you're not familiar with South Carolina, I'm going down. If I kept going straight from here, I go down to like Savannah, Georgia. But this is going to drop me in Augusta, Georgia, where they play the Augusta National Golf Tournament. Real pretty place, and it's getting into a nice patch of weather right now. Oh man, I don't even know how this happens, but it happened. How did he must have tire tracks, chirp, 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 and then go to the left. I don't think that dump got turned all the way around. How did that happen? He's waving me through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know how that happened. Crazy. Yikes. T's and P's, everyone's okay because there's nobody in either one of the vehicles. There's both those guys standing there. Right by the golf course down here, just past Saluda. Maybe he blew a tire on a trailer. I don't know what happened, but T's and P's for that. It's a nice peak pulling flatbed, and here's my favorite part of the drive. I don't know why, but I love going through these trees. They're going to lose their leaves pretty soon, so enjoy it while I can. It's 73 degrees now, and we're inside of 30 miles from pickup. A little row of trees on both sides of the road. I don't know what they farm right here, what they cultivate, but something. one truck here. It's a pretty good sign. It's a container. JB Hunt. This is a JB Hunt load. Stop here and slide your tandems. Let's do that. And then we'll get hopefully get a wave to come on up there. Such a pretty day. A little bit warmer down here, but my goodness, it's gorgeous. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Ooh, there we go. Pins are ready to roll. Well, that was the fastest I've ever been checked in. Just about 2-3 minutes. 2 pieces of paper, grab my ID, check my trailer, and we were gone. But it typically takes a good 10, 15, 20 minutes just sitting there waiting for them to get what they got going on. But last time we were here, last 2 times I think we were here, we were delivering. This time we're picking up 9,000 pounds of probably paper towels or something like that. We're going over to Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter. Looking for a dry van? There's like 90 of them right here to our right. These mega carriers have them all popped up. And thank you so much, guys, for everyone who's sending me dry vans. I'm not looking right now. Like, if it's a great deal, sure, but everything is like a translucent roof, or it has wood walls, or something's wrong with it. If it's a decent price, and if it is what you're looking for, it's $35,000 for like an 07. I'm like, oh goodness, 30 grand if you're lucky. Thank you, Mr. Tanker. Right now our tandems are back, so my trailer's tracks not as well as it should. But look at all those dry vans. Well, dry vans and containers, but mostly dry. To our right. It's a crazy market. We're still money to be made, still people to feed, things to do. But Uber Freight, I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to go through my old emails. I have like direct contact phone numbers with some of the higher ups, because when you call Uber Freight, you just get sent to a call center. You don't actually talk to anybody. So they say, oh, we'll note it, we'll put it in the computer. And they did that, but I have not been contacted by email or phone at all. So I really want to know what's going on with that. So I can see what kind of recourse we have and get some answers why, because we have a perfectly fine score for being on time and productive and never missing we never missed a day. What I mean by that is, like, you have a tire blow or you miss an appointment altogether. In my 3 years working with Uber Freight, I've never missed the appointment. I might have been late in traffic, something else came up, but never actually missed the appointment. So, I don't know what that's about. They want more reliable carriers, but it seems like there's something else going on. I want to kind of know what it is. Right now, we're going to crash the train tracks. And the river is actually right to our right. I think it's the Savannah, I want to say it is, that dumps down in Savannah, Georgia. That's right to our right about, I don't know, quarter mile. There we go. Right around the corner of this building is the check-in office. Here we are. We're flipping around to give you plenty of room at least, because your tandems are slid to get straight again. And that trailer right there, that's the only one in there. G&P, that's the company. Got a lot of the guys that I went to school with in CDL school back in 2018 of February. They came in and recruited, and a lot of people went there from my school. And I'm pretty sure not, maybe any of them stayed there, but that was their starter school that they went to get some experience. Put this thing right next to it. Piece of wood back there. I'm gonna miss it. You just don't ever want to drive over wood, because probably a pallet with some nails sticking out of it. Rather not take out your tires. Those mud flaps still didn't come today, and for the W900, the tracking says it has no tracking. It says U.S. Postal Service says it should be there by Monday. So hopefully. But if I have a load to deliver Monday, I'm gonna have to just put the other ones on it. We'll see. Right now, let's go get checked in. Let's bring my ID, bring my pen. There we go. Checked in and hang out with our bobtail friends here as the yard jockey goes and puts them in. Loaded. That was pretty quick. Like 2 hours on the dot. So I've been here before. It was 4 hours, but last couple times it's been pretty good. So I can see the trailer. They already dropped it over there. Let's go hook up and get some air in it. And then we have 170 miles up towards the south side of Charlotte. I gotta try and find a load that's going either back to Alabama or Mississippi, hopefully Nashville, but it's the weekend, so there was nothing really that great today. I gotta be there on Tuesday, so maybe it'll be something Monday. But I'd like to drop it on Monday, so I'm available for Tuesday, first thing in the morning, start getting the APU on the truck and pray that the mud flaps show up, but if they don't, it's fine. I'll just use the other ones, the mismatching ones. It doesn't matter. But for the maiden voyage, I kind of wanted the new ones on her, but hey, it is life. Our supply chain is hurting right now. We're a part of it. We're trying to move stuff around. And just like everybody else. It's such a nice day though, it's breezy. The sun is hot sitting on the truck, but the breeze is nice. How are we doing?
Good, thank you. Truck is 88, it's just kind of faded out right there.
Thank you. Pull up for the seal. All right. What was that? Oh, LEVASS. Thank you. We're all set to go. Just gotta watch out. If you're ever coming through here, there's this scale right here, and it has like a beam, but it's like it's not rounded. It's a square. Take your tires out. So make sure you're a little bit further this way. We'll let him check the seal. We should be good to go. And it's 4:15. All right, thumbs up. Right here. Well, back over the river into Georgia for about a mile, 2 miles, and then back into South Carolina. And I went through all my old emails, and Uber Freight actually had me do like a collab with a bunch of other carriers, and just kind of like what we would like about the app to change and different ways to improve it. So I still had that email. I emailed her. I was like, "Hey, are you still by chance working with Uber Freight?" She said, "Yeah, I'm a little bit more on the Uber side, but I still work with Uber Freight too." I said, "Okay, well, is there any chance you can put me in touch with somebody who's my like representative or whatever, or someone on the compliance side?" And she said, let me check. So she said she directly contacted my representative. I didn't know you had representatives at Uber Freight, but I guess you do. So maybe that's the person that emailed me. I don't know, Edward. But I've emailed him 4 times now and haven't had a single response. So we shall see what is going on with Uber Freight. And you might wonder, like, hey, you don't need Uber Freight, whatever. But you want all options open. Just depends. Like, different brokers will have different freight in different areas. So instead of deadheading home, you want all those options open of getting something good last minute that needs to move. So it's a nice Tundra down there. I like that one. But yeah, so that's why I want to have it. Just want to have everything available. You use all of them together, add more, then it gives you more options of not sitting and actually making money. So that's what I'm trying to push for, because I don't believe I haven't even done anything for a month, so I don't know what the heck could be going on, but we will see what they come out with. And in the meantime, we're going to catch 520 to the 20, come through Columbia, and then up 77 to the southern part of Charlotte, and that's our destination. Let's get her done. North Augusta Water Tower. Augusta's a pretty, it's like a pretty well-groomed green area. I like the grass. I like it. Pretty cool. I've never been to the golf course. I should probably stop by sometime. It's only like 90 miles from our house. So, we jump on a 20 here. 77 degrees outside. Take a short shoot over to Columbia. Hopefully traffic's not too bad getting through Columbia, and then we go up 77. Columbia to Charlotte and my house is about the same distance, so about 80 miles. Not bad at all. So we should be able to shoot dinners at QT on the way, get some dinner, I just got a chicken Caesar wrap at the gas station across the street from the came from the Clark place I was just at. It was $6.50. I'm like, wow. It was this little tiny little burrito. I was like, okay, whatever. Gotta make more money because you gotta spend more money out here these days. So we'll see. But the Uber thing is still on my mind. My mind kind of works like I have to close doors. I have to finish things. So the Uber thing, I want to just know what's going on. So I'll close that door, and then we're refinancing our house right now, and all the documents are signed and everything. So I want to close that door too and get that all done. But we're going from a mid-6 APR to a 3 on the money. So I was like, wow, cut our APR in half. But it's taken a lot of time. We owe a lot of success to real estate. I got really lucky. I bought a house in 2004 with my fiance, my girlfriend at the time. She didn't want to live there anymore after about a year. She wanted to go to LA and do her modeling or acting career, whatever she wanted to do, and more power to her. She was good at it. She had some stuff going on and won some things. So it's like, cool, go ahead. I'll keep the house. And that was 2005, and the house had a little bit of equity that was built in it, so I gave her half the equity. I pulled out a credit line, so I gave her money because we used her money to buy the house as a down payment. She won a competition, so that money she won, we used that as a down payment. So I gave her that money back, and I gave her a pretty cool Mustang that was supercharged that I liked because I was always having cars around. I was flipping cars. So anyways, gave her those two things, and she went on her way to California. I kept the house and just kept paying off that equity line and kept paying for the house. I had 2 roommates, and then 2008 happened, so I had to let the house go. It was either live in a house that was worth half of what the loans were on it, or just do a foreclosure on like everybody else in Arizona. So I made the hard decision to do that, and I had to claim bankruptcy to get out of all the second mortgage and stuff. So that was a hard thing to do. It takes about 7 to 10 years before that comes off your credit, but it's been over 7 years now. So I did that in 2000. The actual credit, like bankruptcy, didn't happen until I want to say 2011 or 12, and then that started my recovery to my credit. So anyways, I always had good credit, and I never had a car repo, didn't have credit cards, I never paid on that kind of stuff. But the house was kind of a big one for me, out of my control in my early 20s. So did that, but I got really lucky. I rented a house, I leased a house for like $1,100 a month, and then after about a year and a half of doing that, I asked the property manager, a nice lady, her name is Marcy, or Marcia, something, Marcia, and I said, hey, can I meet with the guy who owns this house and try to buy it? Sorry, minivan, I was trying to get over a little bit and get the guy some room. And she's like, yeah, sure. And his name is Dick Burdick. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he was part owner or full majority owner of the History Channel, I want to say it was. He had all these awesome cars. I met him in some office that was also had a couple GTOs, old GTOs, some Chevelles, like really nice mint cars. I'm like, okay, this guy's cool. And he had all these Boy Scout things of America that he like had won, or like all this kind of crazy stuff. But anyway, it's a story time. So he said, yeah, you can buy the house. And he was asking, I looked at the price on the house. The house needed work. The tile was original from like, I don't know when the house was built, in the 90s. And the roof was leaking a little bit in different places. And he was won $250 for that's what it was, $250 for the house. And I looked it up, and it was worth probably about maybe like $190. And so I said, I'll do $200. I'll give you 10,000 cash right now. And he looked me in my eyes and said, okay, shook my hand and said, here you go. So I saved 50 grand. And that was awesome. So got that house, and then I continued the same payment, and it was paying off towards the house now. We did went to attorney, or he had an attorney write up the documents, and it was like owner financing. And he understood my bankrupt situation, so he gave me 7 years. I was like, great. So that was awesome. Now I own the house, and it was kind of unconventional loan because I couldn't get a regular one anymore because my bankruptcy just happened. So I was like, okay. Did that, and then life happened, and I met T-Dubs, and that was 2014. This was like 2011, I think, or 12 that I had bought the house, or 13. And met T-Dubs in 14, and then the house just went to the roof. Everybody from California started moving over here. So I said, okay. Her mom was always coming. Our firstborn Cash was getting a little older. Casey came along, our secondborn, and she was flying in for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time and staying with us. And life was so much easier when she was around. So Gigi, we love you. You made our life. It's a grandparents, you know, like they love your kids as much as you do, and they want to be around them. So it helps let Katie and I still do things or go out to dinner. Not have to worry about a babysitter, because when you have small babies, you really got to be careful about your babysitter. You know, I mean, not saying you don't trust anybody in the world, but you really want to trust your babies. That's your life. That's who you made. Those are your people. So we trust her a lot. We said, hey, let's just move back to South Carolina. And she didn't think I would ever do that. And I visited South Carolina a couple times. I was like, I don't mind it. I mean, I like it. It's nice out here. Growing up in California, I didn't know anything about South. I didn't know anything about the eastern part of the U.S. So when I visited, I was like, that's pretty cool. There's lakes. There's plenty of stuff to do. It's not like just some... Like, I've been to different parts of Louisiana, nothing against Louisiana, or different parts of different places in the world where it was just kind of rural, nothing out there, like just a couple of gas stations. And I'm like, that's what I thought like all the South was. Naive for me. But anyways, I moved out here, and we said, let's sell the house. So we sold the house, and or at least we wanted to like put it up for sale. We did that whole open door thing. If you've ever heard this, it's like they just give you a cash price offer and say you can take this, and it's no questions asked. Like, we take care of everything. And in that 2.5 years that I'd owned the house, I had redone all the tile myself, 18-inch diagonal tile. I fixed the roof. I redid the backyard with artificial turf. I put a hot tub slab in. I put a hot tub in, like all this stuff that I kind of improved on the house. Painted the whole house, all that kind of stuff. So it looked a lot better. I new landscaping in the front myself. And it was in a cul-de-sac. It was a nice area. Great house. Arrowhead Ranch is the name of the development. It was a golf course community. Anyways, so we went to that open door, and they offered us like $288,000 or $87,000. And at this point, I had paid off. I put the $10,000 down. I was down to like 170 something for my balance on the house. So anyways, we took that money. That was the moral of the story is real estate's what got us out to South Carolina. Real estate's what got us into that house we're in now, because we put the proceeds, a huge chunk of it, into that house that we have now. So we bought that house in 2018 after living with T-Dub's parents, Gigi and Papa, for 5 months. We lived in T-Dub's old bedroom upstairs. It's the same one she went to high school in. And then the boys, they have a nice 4-bedroom house with a huge loft. So they had 2 more in the loft, and Kylan hadn't come yet. So Kylan was still a thought. And yeah, we got in that house March 2018. And it was just a blessing. That was on the market for $256. We got it for $250. But no, it was on the market for, it was more than $256. We got it for $256. It's like $280, I forgot what it was, but we talked them into. That was a great time to buy a house. So we bought the house, put $50,000 down on it. All proceeds from the other house that we got lucky, because everyone from California wanted to move over to Arizona. That's when it started. We said, let's take these proceeds and make a new life in South Carolina. So we did. And it worked out. We had a 2005 or 2008 $5,000 minivan, and that was it. Katie and I, and a house. So we had beanbags for the couch, and then I was Uber driving in that minivan and still fabricating in my garage, making grills and making ends meet. But but the moral of the story is real estate's what got us that house and kind of gave us our push for trucking too, because I had a little bit extra money left over. We bought a 2010 Tundra crew cab, paid cash for it with proceeds too, and I sold that truck to get my down payment for this truck we're in right now, this black one. I sold it to put $9,000 down on this truck, and a little bit extra of that proceeds, because I sold the truck for like $14,000. We put the $3,000 down to start the insurance. So it's not like I just had money sitting there, or I got money from somewhere else or whatever. It was the right place at the right time, and everything worked out. So we got the truck, the insurance, it was sink or swim. It was make it or break it. Had just reserves, probably $3,000 or $4,000, and some credit cards if I needed them to figure out any repairs or anything. Luckily, trucking took off in 2018. We made some money. So the rest is history. We ended up buying T-Dub's Escalade. Drove to St. Louis. There's an old video on her channel about when we got that car. I surprised her with it. If you want to check it out, I think it's called Pearl Joins the Family. It's on JustTruckin.Shop's channel. Well, yeah, it was real estate. So going back to the original part of the story, we just refinanced the house after being in the house now since 2018 March. It's coming up on the 3rd year. it's a lot easier to refinance when you've been paying on the house for 3 years in a loan. But it was a high interest rate. We didn't have much good credit even back then. For me, I didn't have my bankruptcy off yet. T-Dub's always had good credit, but she didn't have like history of paying things off. She just had her car. So now we both have amazing credit, and we don't have to put any money down or anything into it. We wanted to like put a big more chunk into it and finance even less, but they said no, you don't have to. It doesn't really change much for you. I said okay. So we're gonna get 3% now, which is a blessing. So that's what this whole story started from. So that's a little memory lane about real estate, though. But that it really is a timing thing. I'm not saying hey, just go buy a house, you're gonna make money. We got really lucky, and God bless us with some timing. I had to foreclose on that old house. Well, it was a brand new home, that 2004 house I bought when I was 24, and then that was the first house I ever bought. And then I got lucky meeting that guy who had properties all over the place, and he let me deal with him, and he pretty much gave me that push. He gave me that 50 grand because he went from 250 to 200 in a matter of a handshake. So that's just a blessing for you, Mr. Burdick. So thank you, Dick Burdick, for that day I met you by the Deer Valley Airport at your office building. You changed my life and changed T-Dub's life. So that's a little story down memory lane. T-Dub's actually texting me right now, and we're still cruising down to 20, making up some time, rocking 65 miles per hour. All right, well, hope that gives somebody some inspiration. Real estate is a blessing. It can be a timing thing that puts you ahead in life. And now the house that we just bought, it just appraised at $369,000, and we bought it for $250. So it really helps. It's just a blessing. But hopefully it stays that way. I think there's a bubble about to burst, but for right now, it's a good time to finance because if your house appraises for that much, loan to value is going to be different. That helps your percentage rate and helps your loan and everything. So it's pretty cool. We went back to the exact same guy who got us the good loan. That was a good loan for us. So the only loan we could pretty much get moving out here. With me being self-employed, it was hard to get the financing lined up, but I went back to him. I was like, hey, this guy got us this done. Let's just go back to him again. And he was like, hey man, let's do this. Let me see some bank statements in your W-2 or your W-9, or not W-9, Schedule C. Sorry, I'm thinking of all kinds of tax forms. And once it showed him, nice, all right, we can do this, man. So hope that brings you a little bit closer to knowing who I am and how T-Dubs and I got to where we're at. We didn't get that house and millions from family, or we kind of made it ourselves. It was God providing for us and helping us get in the right path, and real estate helped a lot. So we made some good choices, and the timing was right. So hopefully it stays that way. And then that Dodge Ram, we had a big lifted truck like that. That's the industry I was in, making the front ends of them, the grills. So we had a big red one, just the same size as that white one back in Arizona that I had before I met T-Dubs. And that was kind of my marketing truck for what I did with the grills. And we sold that when we started thinking about the second child. But T-Dubs loved driving it, so we came out to buying a truck. That one just popped up on eBay. He was asking like $60-something thousand for it. I said, I'll give you 40. And he said, okay, come get it. So we bought that Ram for 40 grand. And the Cobra was my own little thing that I kind of wanted. I got great financing through Capital One, bought that thing for 25. And it's worth like 40 now, so it's just been a blessing. But the Escalade was always T-Dub's dream car. We bought that used too, and we flew up there, or took her on a trip with me in this truck to St. Louis to pick that thing up. So I hope you enjoyed story time today, and let's get over to Columbia. I've talked too much. Traffic is not too bad. That right there is the 26 that takes us back home. We're gonna go 10 miles further and then branch up to 77. That little interchange right there on the 26 up top is quite a bit of traffic typically, so looks like it's flowing good down here, and that's a blessing. Sorry for boring you about all that real estate stuff, but hey, there's a box in the road. Just wanted to give you a little background story on me. I didn't just jump into trucking one day. All the stars kind of aligned and it worked out. God put his blessing on it. Here we go now. Second truck going into action. That's a nice Camaro. CL1, it's got the supercharger on it. Going into action this next coming week. Should be fun. Just got to call the insurance, switch it over. And so we heard back from Uber. We have a carrier audit appeals form that they sent us. It's a different name, but the original message from Edward is still CC'd. So now it's Guadalupe and Edward, which I'm glad they could finally reach out to me. I really appreciate Clio getting getting a hold of them for me, the lady that I had talked with. Man, that was probably last year. So it was nice to have that contact so she could kind of reach around all the automated systems through Uber. I like Uber's very automated and tries to keep it simple, but when you actually have to talk to somebody, it can be a little bit challenging. So I'm very blessed that she reached out there, because within half an hour of me getting that last email from her, I got an email saying, please fill out this form. So they said they'll give me a fair review. I just told them, hey, this is trucking. There are instances where the sun is in your eyes, just like right now. There's instances where dump trucks are in the middle of the road, like there was earlier. It's not always going to be on time, and on top of that, I'm never late. But a lot of times the GPS won't work, or it won't track right, or it'll show something different. Or I also said sometimes I will book a load, they'll pop up last minute, and it's physically impossible for me to be there on time for the appointment. But I know the place will do a work-in or something like that, or they'll load you whenever they can. So that's what I kind of just said to them. And that's a lot of the time I'll book a load last second, but it's somewhere that I know that they load all night, or they load 24 hours, that kind of thing. So that kind of stuff, it's physically impossible for me to actually be there. Maybe I have to deadhead 55 miles and it picks up in half an hour. By the time I fire the trucks and get over there, it's not going to be there. So that's trucking now. That's logistics. That's driving these roads in a massive machine. So hopefully they understand that. Maybe it was just I don't know if they were doing a cleanse of their platform or what they were doing, but I was suspended out of nowhere and I hadn't taken a load since August 17th. So we'll see how that plans out, but I'm happy at least I got that form submitted, got that form sent to me. So we'll see what the follow-up is on that. But right now we're inside of 90 miles. Smooth sailing. We're on the 77 now, and the sun is setting. Are we all getting off this exit? Yeah, everybody except the Dakota. Here we go. And Prius is holding the pattern over there. There's like a recliner in the road back there, so I don't know if they hit the recliner, because it doesn't look like they hit each other. T's and P's though, but there was a recliner like right on the edge of the shoulder. Who knows? 30 miles from our exit. Exit 77 on the 77. So double dose of sevens. QT right here. It's the only one coming into Charlotte from this direction, so I'm gonna hit it up. Don't need any fuel. Still got about half tank, but I do need to find 7th gear. There we go. Maybe even 6th gear. A little bit of a grade, not bad. But yeah, refresh here, easy in and out, the same side of the highway. And we only got about inside 20 miles one day here. Straight ahead right there, I was looking left back at the light, and probably the longest shooting star comet, whatever, I've seen in a long time. It came from the top of the sky and went all the way down behind a tree. And it had like a white glow to it, not a orange, but they kind of always have a white glow. They had a bright white glow to it. Definitely hitting that atmosphere and burning up. But that's kind of cool to see. Just looked over my left and there it went. And this QT is kind of hid behind Pilot. If you do get off on this exit, you're going to be like, where's the QT? Just come down a little bit and you'll see it. Diesel's $2.94. Fuel is $2.77. Sevens everywhere. It's my lottery ticket. Car, we got you. There we go. Arby's across the street. Not a lot of parking at this one, but a whole back row's open. Let you come in the backside. We'll wrap this video here and get these. I didn't even look on the bills if we had paper towels or toilet paper or what we got, but have 9,000 pounds of something. Yeah, not a lot of parking at this one, but the Pilot next door has a lot of parking. There's a little W9 in the corner. Okay, well, let's get out of here, refresh, and park right over here and be out of the way. It's nice lifted forward. That'll do it for a Friday. I hope you guys had an awesome week. God bless all of you. Please check out JustTruckin.Shop and enter to win that truck. And I will see you on the next one. And one more thing before I end this. I had a hood ornament that I bought for the W9. And shipping never had a tracking number. So I emailed them. I was like, hey, did this ship out? And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We thought we had more in stock, but we're out. And I was like, okay. So we'll issue a refund immediately. So I searched for a couple other ones, and this is what I found. Crazy, right? $2,000? I don't think so, but it's regularly $75. So if any of you can find that anywhere, if you know anybody that has one, I'll even take a used one. I can polish it up, but that's the emblem I want for the front of the truck. And it looks like they're out of stock, but anybody that does have them in stock, it's $2,000 to like $400. So let me know if you can find that. I will pay you a finder fee, and God bless you. See you on the next one.